Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello and welcome to the Print Interviews. I'm Stravasti Dasgupta and today we are being joined by a very special guest. Now on Wednesday morning, Senator Kamala Harris's family in New Delhi woke up to welcoming news that she had been chosen by Joe Biden, who's the presidential candidate for the Democrats in the United States of America. He had chosen Kamala Harris as his running mate. Joining me right now is Kamala Harris's uncle, who lives here in New Delhi. He's an independent analyst. He has been associated with the IDSA before, and he's joining us here today to tell us more about what he feels about this interesting development that has happened in the middle of this coronavirus pandemic. Thank you, sir, for joining us on the Print. My first question, sir, is that how did you find out about this and what was your first reaction?
To be truthful, the first time I found out was when I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I see a message saying congratulations. I said, who the hell is congratulating me for what when I not even got up? Then my sister from Chennai called me because she had been bombarded with everybody from states. She said, Bala, have you heard the news? I said, what news? She said, Kamala has been chosen. I said, good. From then on, I have not had any moment of respite. I not even had my breakfast. There have been calls coming like hell. I don't know why.
So, but did her nomination come as a surprise to you?
Look, without saying much, I've been head of the Center for US Studies at IDSA. I've been studying US politics for the last 20 years. And given I know the candidates who are potential candidates to VP, and unless I came to the conclusion there's a very high probability, not a certainty, that Kamala Harris will be chosen as the VP candidate. So it was not a surprise. Only thing I was telling somebody, why the hell did it take him so long? That's all. It was not a surprise.
So Kamala's candidature, I just want to tell our viewers at this point of time, is no surprise. She's been Attorney General, she's been a senator, she's been part of the presidential race before. So she's a rank. She's quite used to what the task at hand is right now. But the question that a lot of people are asking right now, sir, is that we need to move above these categories that Kamala Harris's name is associated with, which is an Indian American, a person of color, and we need to look at her credentials as well, because if we look at that too shows that she's a very deserving candidate. What would you like to say about that, sir?
For instance, when she ran for either the district attorney of San Francisco, I was in San Francisco, I went along with her, and when she ran for the Senate, and I went with her to Sacramento, there was no question of saying that Indian origin or Afro-American, okay? Senate race was not run because she was an Afro-American, okay? Neither the district attorney. This only came about for two reasons now, because of, one, the Black Lives Matter, two, the insistence on the Afro-American community, that the Afro-American community must be represented at the highest levels, and thirdly, that she is a woman, and above all, because of her credentials as an Attorney General, as a District Attorney. It will be a great boost for the Indian Americans, because the Indian Americans have reached the highest levels in the professional. The Surgeon General of the United States, the head of the National Academy of Science and things like that. But this is the first time they have gone to the reach of the national political level.
So also the point that you also raised is about the Black Lives Matter movement that has gained momentum, and her candidature at this point of time in the background of that movement has become very important. Also adding to the fact that she has been a very vocal civil rights activist. Yeah. She has always spoken for all rights, yeah, not just black rights or indigenous rights, everybody's rights. Yeah. So is her role as a civil rights activist very momentous at this point of time as her in her candidature, sir?
Oh yeah, it is. There's no question about it. Look, at this point, it's not only in the United States, all over the world, whether you call it civil rights or human rights or whatever it is, are coming highly under stress. We saw in Hong Kong, we saw in Uyghur, we saw in Pakistan. And somebody would say also in India, I wouldn't dispute that. And then you got in whole of Europe also. So it is very necessary that somebody with a strong view, and at this point, a country with enough resources takes strong position on global human rights issues. Unfortunately, Trump has been very silent on that. Okay. Now Kamala Harris will not only be not silent, but she'll be vocal and pretty strong about it.
Also, the fact that, sir, right now her candidature is also being seen as her sister also on Twitter, in fact, Maya Harris put it out on Twitter that Kamala Harris's candidature must be seen in light of her mother's contribution. Her mother had been a very central figure in her life growing up. If you could talk to our viewers a little bit about the influence that her mother, as a single parent in America, taking care of two young children, what was that like?
Just finished her college at 19 years. Went to live in states on her own with no support family anywhere because Indians were not that much. Lived on her own, she did that. Then when she was attending Berkeley, if you know the history of Berkeley campus, that was the most radical campus in the United States, in fact anywhere in the world, in the 1960s. The free speech movement was at full swing. Civil rights movement was starting there. She joined it. She said, look, it's not enough to do PhD. You have to be part of the society and see what's happening. She took part in it. That had great influence on Kamala and Maya.
Indo-US relationship, what do you think her candidature, what impact will her candidature and what she brings to the table, what will that have on India-US relations?
After Bush did the Indo-US nuclear deal, and subsequently, there are no major outstanding issues between India and the United States. For a long time, we used to talk about export controls. India has been removed from all export controls. India is the most preferred technology trading partner. The Indo-US nuclear deal has been finished. India has become a member of all the export control regimes. So all the grievances that used to be the staple of Indo-US differences have vanished. So there's nothing major to be done between India and US that has to be done. Two, the India-US Congress, US-India caucus is the biggest caucus in the US Senate and Congress. So there's already a huge support for India in the US Congress. In the administration, very high degree placements are all Indians. They are also with a strong support. So there's nothing that a new US president can do to dramatically change Indo-US relations as Bush did. But there are some minor points, one or two may come up. At that time, all said and done, Kamala is a US citizen. She takes US with the US Constitution. So she is bound to follow the interests of the United States. So long as there is no direct conflict between US interests and India interests, if there's any issue where there is a certain degree of ambiguity, should I or should I not, she will definitely say, look, why don't we do that? Because especially given India's support for US. Yes, it will have a positive influence, but it will not make any dramatic changes.
And finally, sir, I want to ask you, and our viewers would also be very interested to know, what would your message to Kamala be at this point? Because she is right now Joe Biden's running mate, as somebody who has analyzed defense policy and international politics for so many years. From what would your advice be to her, sir?
My first advice would be, just keep Shyamala's advice in mind.
Which is what, sir?
Have all your views be governed by the simple fact that you are human and others are human. There's no difference between humans, irrespective of where they come from, what they speak, what they do.
Keep your mother in mind and keep human values above all else is what Kamala Harris's uncle is giving advice to her from here in New Delhi.
In our family, the women have been the most strongest people. Keep up that tradition. The men have been the weakest.
He says that women have been the strongest in their family and she should keep up that tradition, and as we might add that she is already keeping up that tradition back there in the United States. This is Shravasti Dasgupta with Manisha Mondal in New Delhi for The Print.